Hey YouTube, this is zooLert Official here with a very special review. So what I have today is the new InnoTab. This InnoTab is created by Vtech and it is a learning tablet. Now pretty much this InnoTab is a tablet for kids ages 4 through 9 and it's perfect for learning all those skills. It's very beneficial in many ways. So right here, the InnoTab itself, I'll get into more detail. I want to move on to the box itself. Now like I said, if you move to the side of the box, here we have the benefits. You have mathematics, reading, science, and problem solving, and of course a lot more. Now with this learning tablet, your kids can really, of course, get enhanced. There are ebooks. You have art studios, and you have games where they encourage your kids to interact with, of course, the game, telling them what letters are which, and the numbers themselves. Now, in my opinion, the box is actually very nice. The front of the box, you have a little Velcro strap right here, and pretty much on the inside, just details, and right here would be, of course, your InnoTab. So the box itself is very nice, and right here we have some system requirements. I don't want to read through all of them. It'll take a lot of time. So pretty much I'll just take a picture of it for you guys and I'll put it into my blog. And of course the back, more detail and all of that good stuff. So right here we have the InnoTab itself. This tablet comes with a USB port you can connect into your computer. It is upstairs on my computer right now. You have, of course, a stylus, but you don't have to use it if you don't want to. This tablet also is a touchscreen, so anytime you just wanted to click an app, you didn't have to pull out your stylus, or in case if anything happens, if you lost it or something like that, you can always have the capability of touching the screen. And pretty much you have all of your ports, for instance right here, the USB, and then right here you have your game slots where you can place other games, and here's where the stylus would go. You have your speakers, and right here you have a lock screen. Flip it up and down. And on my back, probably the coolest thing about this tablet, or very, very useful, I would have to say, is this stand. The stand is easy to use, so if I'm just going to set it down right now. So anytime your kid was using the tablet and they got tired of holding it, or they wanted to read a book or an ebook on here at the same time, but of course they needed to click a bunch of stuff, but their hands were occupied, what you can do is flip to the back. There's a slot right here where you could put your finger into, give it a little bit of a push. You'll notice there is this movable section to the stand. You just move it all the way up until you hear a click. And there's two ways of putting it. You have the normal way where you could just use it up and down. This is for like the starting or the app screen pretty much. And then when you flip it over, for instance, your art studio and your ebooks will be in this format. So landscape, pretty much, you'll have the screen going from side to side. Now that's pretty much all the external things I have to say about the InnoTab. Very nice. The design itself, the pink and the purple, look really good, especially in kids' hands, mainly for girls in my opinion, but still works very nicely. And all around the InnoTab you have a bunch of rubber pads, even on the stand, so there's a grip. And pretty much this thing is simple and easy to use. So now that I've gone through all the external features, let's move right on into the InnoTab itself. So now that I've explained all the external features, I'm just going to turn on the InnoTab for you. Now before I turn it on, I'm going to let you know that at some parts the InnoTab will read a lot of things for you, so if I do get cut off accidentally, or if I'm going to say something and the InnoTab says something else, that's just the InnoTab, of course, doing what it's programmed to do and just explain to, of course, the kid, because remember, these are for kids ages 4 through 9, to instruct them what to do. Now, let's turn it on. The power button is right up here. This green button, large and very noticeable, has the power symbol right in the middle. You can just click it. You'll notice that the InnoTab has turned on. Very nice introduction, and it will continue to go on.
Touch your name to start, or touch guest.
Now, of course, like I mentioned, you can use the stylus, but just to show you guys that it is a touch screen, I can touch the name. So I'm just going to use Elizabeth, my younger sister's account, for now, just to show you guys.
There are many great games, ebooks, and apps online. So ask a grown-up to connect this tablet to the Learning Lodge Navigator. There, you'll get free V-Coins to buy new games.
So pretty much I'm just going to cut this off.
Apps.
This is the only thing that both the Leap Pad, if you guys have heard of that too, and the InnoTab have a problem with. They introduce, oh, buy these apps and all that stuff. Not a big fan of it. You can just get rid of that.
Okay.
And pretty much you don't have to let it finish reading. You can just, like I did, cut it off, click the OK button, and continue to go on. Now, here we have all the apps. Let's start from the very beginning. Now, like I mentioned, it is a touchscreen, and you can rotate through different apps. And pretty much you can buy the apps, like I mentioned, onto your InnoTab. And before I go through all the apps, I just want to mention, if you guys notice, if you give it some time, let's see if this works. See how the screen itself flips. If I do it one more time, the screen does recognize in what position it's at, so it will change, which is very nice. Now, I'm just going to start from the very first app, probably one of my favorites, the e-reader. And then, of course, you have games, you have music, videos, photos, notes, art studio, color and pop, calendar. You can add friends, you have your settings, you have a calculator, in case you need that, and of course your clock. So, let's start off with our first app. Like I mentioned, probably one of my favorites, the e-reader. So, like I said, you can download these books on the App Store.
To read a book, touch a book icon.
So, like I said, pretty much you can start off with that book right there. The store for the InnoTab, you can check that out.
What's that noise?
So pretty much you have to flip it over. And right here,
touch the page to start the story.
You'll notice that there are
click the pages to move forward or back.
There are different, of course, pages you can go through, and you can
vocabulary highlight off.
You have certain
vocabulary highlight on.
Displays that you could want, like your vocabulary highlight, and of course, you can turn off the music and whatnot. So let's start off with page 1. Now before I click this, I'm going to let you know, you can either click the words to see what they mean, and you can read them yourself, or you can let the InnoTab read it for you. So you notice very nice pictures, very cute, for a kid to read.
Rufus was a country dog. He lived with his family near quiet green fields and long dirt roads.
So, as you can see, what's really cool though, it just read for you. So, in case your kids, are very young and you just want to get them into reading itself, this can help them. And right here, if you click on different things in the picture, you'll notice that they will move. And before I move on, I want to let you know that how you change the page is you have to slide it, like so. Next, I'm going to click on the words, like so.
But one day.
So if you click on the words, you'll notice that the book does not read. Now, you can just flip to the next page and it will continue to read for you. But watch as I click on a word. For instance,
But one day, Rufus and his family moved.
So as you can see, if you click on the words that you don't know, you could hear the pronunciation, and anytime you're reading it to your head, it will be very helpful for, of course, your younger kids. And as you can see, you can just flip to the next page, like so, and that's pretty much the book itself. Now you can click the home button up here to go back home, and you'll see the loading page. Now, before we continue to go to our next application, I want to let you guys know that you could tell that the volume display was very loud, so anytime you wanted to, the volume and the brightness button, all right here. Brightness setting, as you can see, it's going up, and I can change
Click left or right to look at all the menus.
The volume as well. So all of that, of course, you can change to either save battery or depending on your liking. So next, let's just go to games. I'm not going to go through
Games.
all of them, but I'll go through most of the apps that will, of course, seem most appealing to most people.
To play a game, touch the game icon.
So let's go Ice Escape. So these are the two games that came with InnoTab itself. I see my sister play with them. They look very fun. This one is a problem-solving game. So I flip my InnoTab over again.
Choose a level.
Let's go easy. And pretty much you just have to...
Help the penguin find some fish to feed his...
So pretty much you can just slide the ice blocks to get the penguin to, of course, receive the fish. And pretty much that's what you do the entire game. Now, of course, you can go back home. And that was one of the games. The other game was just a tilt game, which I will show you as well. It's very cool because the InnoTab can, of course, sense
To play a
what
game.
it's doing, and this game really displays that. So pretty much you're trying to get
Pinball letters.
the pinball.
Choose a level to play. Easy.
You're trying to get the pinball
Touch
into
an
the different
icon to
letters.
start your game.
Let's go with level 1.
How to play.
Let's skip this. And if I can do that this type of angle, you'll notice that the pinball, if you guys can see, it's a little difficult. I'll try tilting it. I'm not sure how well you guys can see that, but if I tilt it, you guys will notice that the ball follows where the screen is being tilted. It's a little difficult,
M.
but
Monkey.
if you guys can see most of that, what I was doing was
Wonderful.
I was pretty much just tilting the screen and letting the ball move around and trying to get it into the
Days
correct
complete.
letter.
Perfect. You made it in time.
And what
Excellent.
the word was spelled, as you guys heard, was monkey. There was an M missing, and the M was right here. I had to get the ball into the right letter. So pretty much you can tilt the InnoTab, and it will know what it's doing. Very nice. Let's go back to home. And let's move on to the Art Studio.
Art Studio.
One of the cooler features. Definitely very entertaining for kids.
To
Because,
start
you know,
drawing, touch a tool on the right.
Because, you know, kids are very intrigued with drawing. So again, you can change it. You have colored pencils, paintbrushes, and different designs. So let's just start off with a regular colored pencil. Let's pick the color blue. You'll notice that there are multiple colors. Just want to show you guys. Let's go with blue. Now you'll notice that this InnoTab is actually very nice. It curves the letters very well. And there's no, like, anytime you try to write a letter, there's no straight line cutoffs that look really funky. It's very smooth, and it looks very nice. Easy for writing, and definitely easy for painting. Now, what you can do is,
Are you sure you want to reset this page?
By
The art you're working on will be lost.
by clicking on the trash can to my right, you can clear
Yes.
any artwork in there. Now, by clicking up here, there's a little toolbox where you can close up everything, and I'm going to move right into the paintbrush. Let's pick red for the sake, but you can scroll for different colors. And again, very, very smooth, as you guys can see. Very easy to write something. So let's clear it.
Are you sure you want to reset this page? The art you're working on will be lost. Yes.
Like so. And again, we can pick different styles. Now these are just colors or something you can use. Let's start with, let's say, grass. So pretty much I can paint grass by just clicking on the screen and holding and dragging. So you guys can see all the grass being formed. So anytime you want to draw a picture like that,
are you sure you want to reset
very
this
easy.
page? The art you're working on will be lost. Yes.
Now let's go on to rainbow, fan favorite. Pretty much you just draw different colors. And as you can see, different colors appear as you draw. Very, very cool. Now we'll clear
Are you sure you want to reset? Yes.
again. And now we'll do some of these. This is an eraser, you guys know what that is. So for instance, if I frog, then I can pretty much drag anything. These are kind of like specials where they give effects for you. For instance, stuff like footprints. And this one's really cool. It does like a line of a rainbow. And of course, if you wanted to, the eraser at the very bottom, where you can erase everything, just like so.
Are you sure you want to reset this? Yes.
So that's the art studio for you. Very nice. And if you wanted to save, of course, your pictures, you would need
To open a new photo background, touch the open photo
an
icon.
SD card. This, you can open up photos. I just want to show you this before I leave the art studio. So let's say we want to use a photo. There are a couple of photos
Touch a photo to choose.
within the InnoTab itself. Let's go this one. Right at
Are
the
you
very
sure
bottom.
you want to open a new photo? Yes.
And of course, you can always decorate the photo. So let's see. Right here, black. I don't know, let's give it a mustache. So you can do all this funny stuff. Of course, you know, it's very funny. You can make pictures serious if you wanted to. In this case, just, you know, funny, cute, and all that stuff. Very nice that you have this capability. So, you know, if your kid wanted to take a picture of you and they wanted to, you know, doodle it up, it'd be very cool to see that.
Are you sure you want to reset this? Yes.
And of course, you can reset it. Now, let's go back home. So as you can already see, there's a variety of different apps, and they're all very, very fun. So let's go to Color and Pop. So this is another art type of application, so I'm not going to go too much into it. So let's pick a new one. Let's, for this sake, just pick a random one.
Yes.
And like I said, to save your artwork, you need an SD card. And pretty much, you can just pick different paints. Let's see, peach. And you can just click on different spaces, and it will fill up certain areas that you click. And of course, you can always change the color. Let's pick purple, and you can just click on random, of course, things. You can also make it very artistic in your opinion, but that's pretty much how it works. And we can always go to different artwork as well. Back home, and I'm just going to quickly skim through a couple other applications. For instance, the calculator.
Calculator.
So,
Touch the buttons on the calculator to use it.
of course,
Try shaking the tablet to see what happens.
you can do like 78 multiplied by 6, you know, you get your results. Or even better, you can just do simple math that kids would usually do. 9 plus 3. And it says, shake it, let's see what happens. Really, really cool. So you can see here, I'll do it one more time. Notice how like the numbers are all bubbly. They make that really cool bubble effect. So very, very cute. And of course, very interesting. So there we have it, the calculator. Very, very simple to use. And of course, that very nice shaking effect. So those are pretty much the apps I'm going to go through. In my blog, I'll have more description on that. So that's that, and now I'm going to hand it over to my baby sister, where she will be playing with the InnoTab itself. So now that you guys just saw my younger sister playing with the InnoTab, I hope you guys enjoyed that, because if you were watching very carefully, we actually tried taking the video while she wasn't paying attention, so she didn't really know. Eventually she did figure out though, and while she was, of course, or while the cameras were off, she was actually still continuing to play with the InnoTab, and she did do a couple of other drawings where she did get me to jump in, of course, and do a couple of pictures. And I did find it very entertaining, and it was very, very fun. Now, I want to rate this really, really high. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. And before I go on, I know a bunch of you guys are going to ask me, should I get this over the LeapPad? In my opinion, yes. Yes, why? Well, I did get to play with the LeapPad itself. It is the Leapfrog's tablet, and the only reason why I would find that you would get that tablet over this InnoTab is because it has a camera. Other than that, there is no reason. This tablet is so much better. It does, speed-wise, I did find a comparison between the two. They're pretty much the same thing. Opening apps and turning it on, relatively the same speed. Not much of a difference. But when I was talking about the Art Studio, the reason I was obsessing about why this thing was drawing so much better was because if you took a look at the LeapPad, anytime you drew, you saw how I made a perfect S. And it was really fluent. The motion was easy, it was crisp, and it was very, very clean. Now the LeapPad itself, anytime you tried to draw something, it made lines. So for instance, if I tried to draw a very nice S, it would go in kind of like a zigzag pattern, and it would not look nice at all. So drawing on it, difficult. The only reason you would even think about getting a LeapPad is because it has a camera. Other than that, no reason. This thing is 10 times better. So 9 out of 10 for this. The apps were great. So the problems that I had with it were I don't like it interrupting me. The fact that it would, like for instance, the beginning screen tell you to go to the App Store if you wanted more apps. But other than that, I mean, that's the only reason I didn't like that was because, you know, I knew what to do, but for kids they need those instructions, so it's very helpful. The battery life. Now, I did mention this before, but the battery life for this is pretty much you have to have those 4 batteries I showed you before. And the thing is, if you don't have rechargeable batteries, I would recommend investing in some if you're going to get the InnoTab. The reason is this thing does drain your batteries very quickly. So if you don't get, of course, rechargeable batteries, you could easily increase, maybe even double the price of the InnoTab itself. So highly recommend getting rechargeable batteries. And pretty much those were all the problems I had, and like I mentioned, this does not come with the camera, a little bit of a downer, but not too much. So, in my opinion, a very nice tablet. It runs very smoothly, the apps look great, and the speakers work very well. And before I end the video, just want to throw on some music for you guys. So again, I'm just going to click the music app and just let you guys listen to the theme.
Music!
So let you guys enjoy the last 30 seconds before the video ends, and from there, I'll just end the
Touch
video.
a song to play it.
So let's start. Very, very nice music. In my opinion, it sounds very nice. It's a theme, so check it out. And of course, if you wanted to, you could pause it down here. The video just ended, fast forward, repeat, and all that good stuff. So I'm just going to go home for you guys. And that was my review of the InnoTab. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please rate, subscribe, and comment. And if you guys do have questions on the InnoTab itself and the specifications, please do ask, because there are a couple that you do need to know. So thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed.
All right.